What is going on, everybody? It's another team mock draft, and today it's the Indianapolis Colts. A really, strong coaching staff now. You bring in Shane Steichen, and you're looking to operate with hopefully a freak at quarterback. And I went out and I did that, and I got him some help on offense and defense. So let's just get it started. Who's the freak at quarterback? Who are we taking it for? The biggest question for Colts fans is who's going to be under center, and I picked Anthony Richardson. He's my QB1 in the class, and the fact that he's at 4 and might really be at 4 in real life, I think he's such a good football player, or at least has the potential to be one. There's so much stuff on tape that makes you really like him. He's a lot farther along mentally than he gets credit for. A lot of people say that that's one of the weak parts of his game. I really don't think so. It's mainly just mechanics that have to get cleaned up. I'm very high on Richardson. Moving right along, number 35, another player I'm high on, and a player that my co-host Luke is high on, Julius Brents, a cornerback out of Kansas State. The dude is physical. He gets after it, and you guys really desperately needed some cornerback depth, and he's somebody who could be a number 1 if you give him the time. Obviously, some injury concerns, but he just continues to get better, and he performed really well in Mobile. So, moving on to another guy who performed really well in Mobile, I figured, hey, you've got Alec Pierce, you've got Michael Pittman, but you need this smaller, more dynamic wide receiver, because you've got these Alec Pierce is kind of the deep threat. You've got Michael Pittman, who kind of operates as a big slot, but you need somebody who can be more of a true slot play underneath kind of guy. And that's what Tank Dell is to me. He is explosive. He might be small, but he packs a punch. The dude he has that alpha A1 receiver mentality. He gets after it. And that's just kind of the kind of guy that I was picking for you guys, is just a bunch of alphas. Go get a bunch of dogs in this draft, and that's what you did, at least in my mock. Moving on, I figured, hey, let's get you some edge depth. It was one of your needs, but, the board wasn't exactly falling how I liked it before. So I went out and I took Zach Harrison. I figured, hey, an edge that not a lot of people are talking about, but at the very least is edge depth. And if he develops, he can be a really good football player for you. Figured he's a solid fit. Why not make him a Colt? Moving on, I figured this is one of my favorite, offensive lineman development projects in this draft. It's Nick Saldiveri out of Old Dominion. A lot of people are saying that he might sneak up into the end of day 2, but I'm taking him here on day 3 at pick 138, and I'm feeling really comfortable with it. Somebody who can develop into hopefully, if at the very least a swing tackle, and hopefully maybe even a starting tackle. So developmental offensive lineman, you always want to continue the pipeline, and I figured that's what I'll do with this pick. And the next pick, where I took Oluwatimi out of Michigan, interior offensive lineman, somebody who can play, the guard spots, and somebody that you're hoping can develop into another really good football player for you, at the very least a depth piece. Like I said, obviously, these aren't guys that you're looking to start right away, but a couple years from now, you never know. Maybe you lose a Quentin Nelson, or maybe he goes down for just a couple games and you need a replacement. Oluwatimi's that kind of guy. Moving on, another guy that we liked, I believe he was at the Senior Bowl too, Marte Mapu out of Sac State at 176, an underrated linebacker prospect. Not much else to say about him, just a really, strong, good football player, and somebody who has the ability to develop. And that was kind of my goal with these day 3 picks, is just get some people with high ceilings and people who could be contributors on your football team. And that's what the next pick is. I took a corner earlier who's the physical type. I'm taking a cornerback now who's the technique type, and it's Mekhi Blackman, another guy who was at the Senior Bowl. You know me, I love my Senior Bowl guys because, I had to watch him, speak to him. I spoke to Jaden Reed. Luke spoke to Jaden Reed too, and he said that was the hardest guy to get a read on when it came to winning his one-on-one matchups. He said that was Mekhi Blackman for him. So I certainly think could be a strong pick there. Kind of a technique guy, not the biggest, not the fastest, but a really good football player who on day 3 can be a contributor for you. And with my last pick, I figured, hey, let's go address the defensive line, go get some more depth. And I took Tyler Lacey out of Oklahoma State. I figured, hey, got solid potential, but at the very least, you just need a rotation of guys on that interior defensive line, because guys get tired, and maybe it's late in the game, maybe you just need to rotate him in, or maybe he's somebody who can sit back and watch develop in his first year. Either way, I think this is a really strong draft for you Colts fans. Let me know what you think. Even if you're not a Colts fan, let me know what you think, because hey, I always want to hear your guys' feedback and who you guys like in this draft. It's draft week. I'm super excited. More content is coming to WeBall, so make sure to subscribe, make sure to like this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.